Hello everyone, I'm back working on the science journals. I don't really remember what I showed you and what I didn't because I know a couple of videos I did not upload. They weren't very good. So I do have one signature for the smaller journal pretty much done. I might do a little stamping or stenciling on some of the pages. But once I get, I've said before, I think, once I get one signature done, then I'm pretty well set as far as knowing what to do for the rest of the book, because I just kind of copy what's in here with some alterations. I do want to show you some of the pieces that I made since I filmed. Now, I found these stamp sets, and I don't have the packaging, but I know I got them at Michael's. Trying to find something that I can put it on here. I got them at Michael's on clearance, and they're clear stamps, and they came with dies. So I got them for like $1 something, I think. And so I have two of them, two sets. So I started cutting and stamping some of these pieces because I thought these would be really cool in this science journal. And there's little words that say urgent and be productive and notes and things like that. So I use some of them. So that's what's in here, in this drawer. And I don't remember if I showed you that I was cutting shapes out of my index cards that have a grid on them. So here's one of the tabs that I made with that set, and another one. This one says be productive. Okay, so I have those, and these are the pieces of ephemera that I made yesterday, and I know that you saw some of them if you saw those videos, so I'll just show them real quick. I don't know if you saw that one or that one. Maybe you did. And I don't know if I showed you this with the number 9 on it. I put it on with an eyelet. I think we did the eyelets together on these. And this one was different. I stamped using 3 different stamps on these cards. These 2 are from the Tim Holtz laboratory, and this is a Stampin' Up! Stamp. And I used 3 different colors of ink too, so I thought they turned out pretty cool. And then these, okay. So I'm working with ephemera that I made, and in the drawer of big stuff I have these 2 CD envelopes, which you saw. Unfortunately, these are too wide for the little green journal, so I can't use them in that. They'll both be for the larger journal. And I think I showed you these with these little tags attached, did I not? And you saw me make these. So I think we're caught up as far as the ephemera goes. Now I will show you what I've done in the signature, and then we'll get to work on some stuff. So here's a pocket. You saw me select the page and tape it in the center to this, but I've stitched it on now, and I added one of those tags that I made. It looks like it's upside down, like it should be faced the other way, but the fold was right here on the die, so that's how I put it. I think it looks cool. And then I added this one and added be productive. This one I cut in half and just used half of the tag. Some of those dies have slots in them. This one and this one. So they're slotted like a paper clip. So this one I stamped notes on and then slipped it over the edge of that sheet. This came out of the physics book. So this is just a collage of pieces, couple pieces from the books, and a die cut piece and a digital printout. This is also a little collage. I stamped on this circle. This is a die cut, and then this is another one of those slotted paperclip type of ephemera pieces. I put the tab on this flip out page. And I stamped number 7 with my Graphic 45 number set that I love so much. And I used the ridged part of a manila file folder for that, and then I punched it out with an oval punch. I had to make a new pocket for this book because the other manila pockets that I made yesterday are too wide for this book, so I made one in the right size. And I love this image of the girl with chemistry set. This I showed you yesterday, I think, with the stamping here, some cutouts here, and this card. And I did add this. Since the envelope is numbered 6290, I stamped number 6290 on the card inside. This is just a little pocket that I had cut out with my Cricut a long time ago, and it's so tiny and cute. I don't really like making them this small because it's hard to fold that up evenly, that little sliver of a piece of cardstock. But it has one little card tucked in there, and then I glued some graph paper behind it. And then this has another card that I made, put an eyelet on it. This is a little snippet cut from the physics book. And here's one of the envelopes that we did yesterday. I zigzagged on the flap, put that little circle on it, and stamped there. Here's a corner flip. Someone asked me how we do these, and so I will demonstrate that in the next signature. I put a couple scraps of ledger paper here and a little tab that I had stamped and cut out and kind of stitched it on there, and then put the tag that we made, and I'll put something in the top. I don't know what yet. And this is something new for me. Well, I actually did something similar to this in Smash Books when I used to make them. But this was the element I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it. So I'm going to show it to you, and then I'll show you how I made it. It's pretty simple. It's nothing ornate or anything. But it unfolds like that. And it has a number 2 brad at the top. I think that's a Tim Holtz brad. I did put reinforcement on the hole, even though the hole is smaller than that, but I didn't want the brad to wiggle around and rip through as this gets moved around, because you can move it out of the way to write. So it's pretty easy. Excuse me, I'm yawning again. And I'll show you how I did that. And then the back. I was just going to glue this on, or stitch this on just with no pocket or anything, but then I decided to leave the top part open, and then I made a little booklet with graph paper inside. It says urgent. So there's one signature. So I will demonstrate the flip pocket, which is not my invention, the corner flip, the Rita Donnelly flip, and I will demonstrate the circle. I don't even know what to call that. This thing. Guess I'll have to have a name for it. And I probably didn't invent that either. Somebody else has probably already done that. So let's start with that. I take my index cards and my 2-inch punch and punch out 3 shapes. And then I distress the 3 shapes. So I just put a little black soot around. And now I'll put on some of the vintage photo. I need a piece of scrap paper. I usually do this at my other table. I'll just tear a page out of this book. And now I'll stamp some images on it. Some of the images overhang, so I'll still keep it on this book. I brought them over with me to this table. I will stamp this chart. And this. And I think I'll stamp this one. I don't even know which ones I stamped on the first one. I'm probably doing all the same ones. Guess I'll do that one. Okay, now they're all distressed and stamped. Now I'm going to punch a hole in the tops, well, yeah, the tops of all of them and the bottoms of 2 of them. And I think I put my brads away. Here are my brads. So I'll use one of the number ones on the top one. And I have these little square or diamond shaped ones to attach these all together. Oh, something I learned in doing the first one is you put the one underneath, the one below, each one goes on top of it. Does that make sense? The one under goes on top. You know what I mean. That way it can fold up neatly. So then when I know what page it's going to go on, I will punch a little hole in the top of the page and put this brad through that. And then they can all fold up. Now you can take the brad off and take it right off the page, and that way you can do some secret journaling on the back and then put it back on the page. Or you could leave it so that these are kind of blank, maybe just a little decorative thing, and then leave it so you can write on the circles, but I stamped on them. So anyway, I thought that was a fun little element. Whoops. Now someone asked if I would demonstrate how to make those corner flips. So I just need to find a scrap of paper. I think I'll use this one. I find a kind of a wide cutoff page if I can. And your paper should be square. Get these things out of the way. So this paper is a little over 4 1/4, so I'm just going to cut it to 4 1/4 to make it easy. Maybe I'll cut it to 4, and that way I'll get rid of some more of that curved edge. So 4 inches by 4 inches. I'll have to do it this way because that edge is curling too much. So that's pretty simple. You need a square, and then you just fold the square into a triangle. You can decorate the top or not. I'm going to fold it this way so that this curved edge is going to end up being glued or stitched to the page. So you can decorate this or not, depending on what you want. And you can attach it down the side and across the bottom, either gluing or stitching. And then you can write in here and then tuck something in there. Let me get my next signature. Let me see what page that flip was on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th page from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll go on this page in this signature. So it'll go like that. And I will glue it or stitch it right across, down the side and across the bottom. And then I'll put a tag in there. Like that. So I'm not going to stitch it down yet until I decorate the top of it. Okay, so that's a demonstration for that. And I think that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.